Let's discuss about the blood clotting mechanism or clotting of blood or solidification of blood. So, the blood clotting that is normally carried by platelets. Okay, the blood cells or the small fragments that is known as platelets. So, the main function of blood platelets that it helps to clot the blood. So, we can see that platelets means they are not cells but are fragments of cytoplasm of cells, or platelets means actually they are small fragments. Clear? The main functions they involved in clotting of blood. Most important function that is clotting of blood. They helps to clot blood. If any cut or wound occurs, then they seals that wound. Clear? They seals that wound or they helps to clot the blood at the site of injury, and it prevents further bleeding or severe bleeding. Then it prevents excessive bleeding, another function, and it stops foreign particles or other microorganisms from entering bloodstream by forming a physical barrier. So they help to stop the inversion of other foreign particles or other microorganisms at the site of that injury by forming a physical barrier, so that it prevents the entry of any foreign substances or any other microorganisms or any other foreign particles into that site of injury. So the main function, one is clotting of blood, and second one it prevents excessive bleeding, and third one it stops the entry of foreign pathogens into that injured part. Clear? So blood platelets, it helps in the clotting of blood. Clear? So normally the importance of these blood platelets, due to these platelets in the blood, if any cut or injury occurs in the body, they comes at that site of injury and they seals the wound. Clear? So like this way they helps to clot the blood. Why need blood clotting? What is the importance, or why should the blood clotting is important? Okay, blood clotting, that is very important because to prevent excessive blood loss, from that body, when there is a damage of the blood vessel, if any cut or injury is there, then due to this blood clotting mechanism of that platelets, it stops or it prevents the excessive bleeding from that site of injury. That is the first function. Then second one, it maintains blood pressure to ensure proper blood circulation. So it maintains proper blood pressure. Then it prevents the entry of microorganisms as well as foreign particles into that injured part. Then fourth one, they promote wound healing. Okay. Normally these platelets, they contain some clotting factors. Okay. Clotting factors. Normally 13 clotting factors are present in these platelets. Okay, some clotting factors, actually some clotting factors which are present in these platelets. Okay, near about 13 clotting factors are present in the blood or present in these platelets, and they normally helps to clot the blood. So this is the figure or this is the flow chart which shows the mechanism of blood clotting. Okay, how does this clotting of blood that takes place? The first step, firstly the injured part as well as these platelets present in that injured part. Okay, if any cut or injury takes place, so the cells from that injured part as well as the platelets, okay, cells from that injured part as well as the platelets of that injured part, they release an enzyme which is known as thromboplastin. Okay, first enzyme that is known as thromboplastin. Thromboplastin means it is an enzyme that is released from that injured part or that cut region as well as the platelets which comes to that injured part. They together helps to release an enzyme which is known as thromboplastin. Clear? Then the second stage, what will happen? This enzyme thromboplastin in the presence of calcium, as well as calcium, What will happen here in the presence of this calcium, this thromboplastin enzyme, they convert inactive form of prothrombin into active thrombin. Okay, they helps in the conversion of prothrombin into thrombin. Thrombin is the active form. Okay, prothrombin means it is an inactive form. So they helps in the conversion of inactive prothrombin into, this is a factor, protein factor, and inactive prothrombin into thrombin. Clear? The first step, injured part as well as the platelets, they help to release an enzyme. What's the name of that enzyme? Thromboplastin. Then second step, these thromboplastin in the presence of calcium ions, in the presence of calcium, this inactive prothrombin that is converted into active thrombin. Then the third step, that active thrombin, it helps to convert this fibrinogen into fibrin fibers. Okay, fibrinogen into fibrin fibers. Okay, fibrinogen into fibrin fibers. So, fibrinogen, it is soluble. Okay, fibrinogen, it is soluble form, and this fibrinogen means that is soluble form, and it converts into insoluble. Fibrin fibers means that is insoluble form. Okay, that is insoluble form. So it should convert this soluble fibrinogen should convert into insoluble form. Clear? For clotting of blood. Clear? So that this thrombin, active thrombin, it converts soluble fibrinogen into insoluble fibrin fibers. Okay, in the form of fiber, that is known as fibrin fibers. So now it is insoluble form. Clear? Then the fourth step, this insoluble fibrin as well as the RBC red blood cells as well as the platelets present in that wound region, they form a meshwork or a network-like structure which prevents the further clotting of blood. And now it forms a clot, blood clot. Clear? So, fibrin fibers which are insoluble form as well as red blood cells and the platelets that are present in the blood, they help to form a meshwork or network-like structure that is known as clot, blood clot or solidification of blood. Clear? So, this is the actual mechanism behind the clotting of blood. So, once again I will repeat it. It's a very simple process. Very simple process. Only you need to learn these 4 stages or 4 steps in this form of flowchart. Okay, only for 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 steps are there, only 4 steps are there. Just you learn these 4 steps. Okay, this is very simple one. So once again I will explain it. Injured part or that cut region or that injured part or that wound or injured part or the cells of that injured part as well as the platelets which accumulate at the site of injury, they together release an enzyme thromboplastin. Then on the second stage, thromboplastin, it converts inactive prothrombin in the presence of calcium ions into active thrombin. It should convert into active thrombin. Then third step, this active thrombin, it converts soluble fibrinogen into insoluble. Okay, soluble fibrinogen into insoluble fibrin fibers, and these fibrin fibers it will comes to that wound or in that injured part and they will get accumulated here and they form blood clot. So in the fourth step, the insoluble fibrin fibers, okay, along with the RBC as well as along with the platelets, they will accumulate at the site of injury or accumulate at the site of wound, and now they form a meshwork or they form clot, blood clot, and prevents further bleeding from that injured part. This is the actual mechanism behind blood clotting. Clear? So blood clotting factors, they involved in this clotting of blood. Clear? So if they lack any blood clotting factor, then what will happen? Blood clotting do not take place at the site of injury, and due to which severe bleeding will take place.